officially 6:45 in the morning. It's December the 30th of 2024. And I just wanted to upload a quick introduction video. You're not going to be able to see me yet. I'm sorry. Maybe a little bit here and there. Because I am driving to work. I'm driving to my Monday through Friday 8 to 5 job, where I basically send out notifications to hospitals that my company needs medical bills or itemized bills or medical records in order to complete our itemization and auditing process. Anyways, we do a lot of things at my 8 to 5 Monday through Friday job. It is an office job. I love it. I love my job. Love my job. Would not trade my job for anything in the world. It's an amazing company to work for. I don't want to talk about it on here because I don't know that I can. I don't know what the legal ramifications for all of that are. But I also wanted to talk to you guys about what I'm doing on the side. So at my Monday through Friday 8 to 5 cushy office job, I was asked by a friend of mine because she saw some artwork that I had done. Anyway, she saw some artwork that I had done, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're an artist." And I was like, "Yes, I'm an artist." And she said, "Oh my gosh, can you paint my walls?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me? Yeah, I can paint your walls." Shoot, yeah. Did I know if I could paint her walls? I didn't. I really didn't know that I could paint her walls. But I knew that I had the skills to be able to paint her walls, you know? So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I can do that. Like, when do you want me to come over? Let me look at this. Let me see what I can do. So, you know, I told her that she was going to have to buy all the stuff. If she wanted me to do it, she was going to have to buy the paintbrushes, the paint, the whatever, okay? So she did. She went out and she bought the colors that she wanted and the tape that I would need, everything that I would need to do that wall I had, okay? So I went over there, I looked at it, and I just started doing it, you guys. Like, I taped off the wall, and we had looked at some Pinterest posts of walls that, you know, she was like, "Hey, I like the way this looks," or "I like the way that looks," whatever. So we started there, and we picked out a couple of colors, and she liked what she saw, and she was like, yes, let's do this. So I did. I taped off the wall, and the first design that we did was all like, it was like two perpendicular, or not perpendicular, but like slanted lines, and then there was a couple of like odd triangle lines or whatever. Anyways, so we did that first, and then after we did that, she was like, "Oh wait, I want to do something different." She's like, "I think it needs, you know, I think it needs something different. Well, how about we do this?" So I went back over there the following weekend, and we redid the wall. I basically copied the other side of the wall. So basically now it looks like you could take the wall and cut down the middle triangle, and it would be symmetrical on each side of the design. So yeah, so we did that, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, yes." And the next thing she was like, "Can you do cabinets?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me right now?" "Yes, ma'am, I can do cabinets. I will figure it out." Well, because of the people that I know, friends, family, whatever, I was told, "Hey, get a sander and get a paint sprayer." So I told her, I'm going to need these things. I'm going to need a sander and I'm going to need a paint sprayer if you want me to do this correctly. So I went in, and it was hard. Like, I mean, I'm not going to tell you guys that it was easy, because it was hard. You know, it was literally like, it took me probably about 8 hours to do 2 cabinets plus the wall around those cabinets. and the cleanup afterwards, and the setup before, and the taping, and the going back and like fixing what I messed up, because I mean, my gosh, like, you're not going to do it perfect the first time, you know? And so I had to go back and I had to do stuff, and I had to touch up here and touch up there, and I had to go back and like re-sand some stuff and fix it. God, it's hot in here. It is hot in here. This thing works very well. Anyways, so I had to go back and I had to redo all of that stuff, and it was, you know, it was kind of a nightmare. I mean, it really was, to be honest with you. Like, it was hard, and I had never taken cabinets off. I had never done that stuff. Like I had barely worked with a drill my whole life, you know. Like, I never did like hard construction, like, and I didn't think that it would be that hard, you know, but it was very hard. And in order to do it right, you've got to take those cabinets off. And so I did the first two doors, and I painted, like, she just wanted like the outside of her cabinets painted, not like the inside where all the dishes and stuff like that were. So thankfully I didn't have to remove all that stuff and redo all of that, but I would have. I mean, typically that's what you would do. Typically you would take those cabinets completely off the wall, take them outside, you would sand them, you would spray them down, you would do all the things, right? But that is not, this lady was just like, oh, absolutely not. Like, I don't want to do all that. Like, I just want to do this. So I just worked with what we had, right? So I did all of that, and I painted the doors. She wants a black and white kitchen, so we painted the cabinet doors black, and then we painted like the trim of the cabinets white. And I mean, like, it was scary because I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. And then it did. Like, it worked, and it looked so good when I got done. It looked so good, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I did that. Like, holy crap. And then she wanted me to paint a wall that was in her kitchen, and it's paneling. And I was like, oh no, I can't, no, oh God, you know. So what do? You tap into your friends and family, peeps. Like, that's how you do it. You have to tap into your friends and family. So I contacted my cousin, and I was like, hey, boo, like, I know that you do a lot of remodeling and stuff. Like, every time this woman, I love her, every time she gets a house, like, this woman would, like, I swear to goodness, she was redoing her house every 6 months, and she would do some incredible stuff, and I'm like, how in the world? You know how she did it? She probably did the exact same thing that I was doing. You literally just figure out what you want, and you figure out a way to make it happen. Like, whether it be YouTube or Amazon or, you know, whatever, like, you just start tapping into your creative potential. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna tap into this, and I'm gonna see what I can come up with, right? So we ended up putting, I was gonna use Kills, but she wanted chalkboard paint over the white paint. So I took the paneling, and I put like a putty in the little grooves of the paneling or whatever. I put like putty in there to kind of make the wall appear to be seamless and flat. And then I went over that with like cabinet and door paint. Well, the putty started seeping through, and you could still see the lines of the paneling, like, behind that or whatever. So I was like, absolutely not. Like, I don't know what to do. And Miss Carol was like, oh my gosh, let's paint it black. And so we did. We used chalkboard paint over the cabinet and door paint, and let me tell you guys, it looks seamless. Like, you can barely tell that this is paneling at all. It looks incredible now. Now, her daughter did finish that part. I didn't finish the chalkboard paint. I didn't do that. But it looks incredible. And her daughter's only 16, and her daughter's interested in graphic design and all the things. So she's definitely, like, been my little helper, and I love her. Oh my gosh, she's incredible. Yes, I'm driving. My phone is stationary. I am safe. I am looking straight ahead, just so that everybody knows. So anyways, I was like, just, okay, like, you know, we're doing this thing, you know, and she's asked me to do several projects for her since then. So a couple of weekends ago, before Christmas, I went back over there, and her daughter had showed me this picture on Pinterest, and she was like, hey, I want this on the wall. So it was a couple of half circles with like a small circle in the middle, and it looked good, and you know, whatever. And I was like, like, I think you need more, but okay, like, I'm gonna do what you want. And their design scheme is oranges and grays, and it looks so pretty. Like, I absolutely never would have thought that orange and gray went together, but let me tell you, orange and gray goes together. The way that they have done it, it looks incredible. So anyways, we did that, and I, you know, every time that, you know, like, I saw it, I was like, no, it needs more. Well, within a few days, Miss Carol contacted me back, and she was like, hey, I think it needs more. I think it needs to be Rebecca-ized or whatever. So I was like, okay, I got you, boo. So, you know, what did I do? I jumped into Canva, because Canva's amazing. Like, if you don't have a subscription to Canva and you want to do any kind of design work, like, I'm telling you right now, Canva is the easiest thing. It has made graphic designer life amazing because of all the free content, and even the pro stuff. Like, you can use it in all kinds of, like, I don't even want to get into all that. But regardless, if you want to be a graphic designer, whatever, Canva, I'm telling you, it's amazing. It cuts your time in like half. Like, it's amazing. Anyways, whatever. But so I jumped into Canva and I started playing around with designs or whatever, and I came up with something that looked really good, or I thought would look really good. So I took the picture that I already had, because I had taken a picture of the design that I had already painted on the wall. I took that, put it into Canva, and so it already had her TV in there, right? So it's above her TV, and her TV is mounted on the wall, and so that way I could work with realistic space, and I would know exactly what my dimensions should be and everything, right? So I popped it in there, and I know I'm making it sound easy, but it really is easy once you get in there and start playing with it. Like, the easier that it gets, right? So I jumped in there and I started like playing with the design, and you know, putting some extra circles, some extra half circles, etc. And it looked really good. And so I sent her a picture of, you know, what it could look like, and she was like, yes, that is what I want. Yes, do that. And so I was like, okay, so I'll be over there this coming weekend or whatever. And so, not last weekend, but the weekend before, I went over there and we added the extra circles. Well, then, you know, when I first got there, she was like, hey, she's got these two windows that are on either side of the TV, and she's like, I think it needs something up there. So we created a circle and a couple of half circles up there and made them identical. And then the one that's, you know, above the TV has all the colors. It has like the oranges, like a light orange, a light gray, like a almost a gold color, but it's like it's actually gray and orange mixed together. So I basically took 2 or 3, if I'm being honest, and well, 4, because I had black too. So I took 4 different kinds of paint, 4 colors, and made about 8 colors. And so I mixed colors together until I got a color that, you know, went with the theme of her living room. And y'all, it was incredible, like incredible. It turned out really well. It turned out a lot better than I thought it would. And, you know, I was like, okay, how am I going to create these circles? Guys, just think outside the box, right? So I was like, you know what? Pan lids, pans. So I ran into her kitchen and I grabbed a couple of lids and of different sizes, and I brought them in there and I traced them on the wall. Like, at first I was doing the whole, you know, like put a nail or a thumbtack and put a string out how far you want the circle to go, like the circumference of the circle. and then you just go around, right? And you make your circle or your half circle or whatever. That way everything is perfect. I went and got pen, Liz. I'm telling y'all, it worked. It worked so flippin' well. The hard part for me, because I'm not even gonna tell you how old I am. I'm not gonna tell you how old I am, but I'm in my 40s. And the hard part for me was painting afterwards. Like, after I had this perfect circle up there, like, how do I paint it and make it look good, right? So I literally had to go in and like detail paint. So I would recommend, and stencils are probably a better idea, like for real. But if you want to do it by hand, you absolutely can do it by hand. You just need some little tiny brushes that you're going to use for touch up. And you're going to need, if you're over 40, you're going to need glasses. I'm just saying, like, you're going to need some reading glasses. I'm just saying, like, because you got to get up there and you got to get like in those little fine lines and those little details. And it depends on what kind of wall you're painting on, like you guys know. And if you don't know, you'll find out. But anyways, that's what I've been doing, and I also work a full-time job, so life is definitely tough. But like, I guess I just recently started really thinking about, like, what do I want for my future? Like, what do I want my life to look like in 10 years? Well, I don't want it to look like it's looking right now. I mean, not to say that my life is bad, because it's not. A little bit more about me. I am a full-time RVer. I'm married. We're buying an RV, and it's like a 2017 Puma. It is a very, very nice RV. It's a destination trailer. So it's like a 38-foot, I believe, RV. Anyways, it's huge. So you might get some content about that on here. I don't know. You might get all kinds of content on here, because anything that I do, look at me dropping my phone. Anyways, anything that I do, like design-wise, I would like to add to this channel, because, whatever. And I know that we're going to be updating that RV and doing some flooring and doing some all kinds of things. So I definitely will be adding that kind of stuff to this channel. But I started looking at my life, and I started thinking, I don't want to be here in 10 years. I don't want to be doing this in 10 years. In 10 years, I don't want to be working 2 jobs. In 10 years, I want to be financially free. So that is my goal, to be financially free in 10 years, so that by the time I'm really going to age myself. We'll just say by the time that I am, I keep dropping it, y'all. By the time that I am almost 60, just leave it at that I would be able to retire myself. I should have done this 20 years ago. Like, for real. I should have done this 20 years ago. If I would have done this 20 years ago, y'all, I would be financially free right now. But all it takes is hustle and drive. And I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm not. It's definitely hard, and it sucks because I don't get a lot of downtime. Like, I have to make days for myself. And there are days that, like, I literally am not home anymore. Like, I am home long enough to sleep, eat, shower, get up in the morning, go to work. I come home. I, am trying to go to the gym. I am trying to, like, really work on Rebecca. Like, I'm really focusing on working on myself. I'm reading self-improvement books and things that make me feel better about me. So, like, one of the books that I've been reading is The Empowered Wife and The Surrendered Wife. If you haven't read those books and you are interested in being in a traditional marriage, whatever, I recommend those books very strongly. Very, very strongly, because those books have most definitely helped me to see how women and men function in a traditional marriage, right? Anyways, regardless, just check it out if you want to. You don't have to. I don't know the name of the author offhand, but I will get that for you in one of my videos, or maybe I can add it to the description. I don't know, because I don't know enough about YouTube, you guys. Like, I'm just learning, and y'all don't beat me up for it, okay? But, you know, I also am just going through a lot, like mentally. I've been like really focusing on my mental health and trying to make sure that Rebecca's good here, because Rebecca needs to be good here, you know? And just like anybody else, right? Like when you take a step back and start focusing on yourself, you see all the toxicity and all of the things within you that make you want to change. And I was like, you know what? How can I sit here and tell somebody else, you know, this is what it takes to be successful, when I know everything that it takes to be successful, but I can't tell you what it takes to be successful if I'm not doing the darn thing. So I was like, you know what? Like, I could have taken this opportunity from this lady at work. I could have just, Miss Carol, I could have just taken this opportunity and I could have just been like, okay, cool. Like, you know, I painted her wall. Like that was cool. Absolutely not. I was like, hey, do you have another project? Hey, do you have another project? Hey, what else do you have? Hey, what else can I do for you? Hey, how else can I? Because I know that every single time that I go over to her house or I go do something else for someone else, that I'm building my content, that I'm building my rapport, that I'm building my business. So I know I look a hot mess this morning, y'all. Like, yesterday was crazy. I had a great day hanging out with my girls and doing some self-care. So I am definitely really focusing on that. So another thing that I'm doing is I call them self-care Sundays. So on Sundays, like, I am really just trying to focus on, number one, Jesus. Number two, I'm trying to focus on myself. Whether that be like, you know, doing like a facial, or, you know, dyeing my hair, or going to get my hair cut, going to get my nails done, painting my, like, you know, sometimes you have to do your own thing because, you know, you're not financially free yet. Hello, not financially free yet. So your girl has some press-ons. And let me tell you, press-ons, there's secrets to that too. Anyways, regardless, I'm getting way off topic here, guys. I have so much stuff that I want to talk about, just about life and about the pursuit of happiness. And they're building a gas station or something right here at the corner by where I drive. Anyways, I'm not going to show y'all where I drive because y'all don't need to know all that about me. If you figured that out, well, good for you. Anyways, so I guess, like, the main point of this video is just to tell you guys, like, you can do it. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. I don't care how old you are. You can do the darn thing. You just have to be, you just have to get up and do it. And, you know, I quit making excuses for myself and quit telling myself that I wasn't good enough. Because, you know, a lot of times that's what we do. You know, we sit here and we listen to all of the stuff that is around us, and we tell ourselves that we're not good enough and we can't do it. When the reality is that we are good enough and we can do it. Maybe we have to, you know, figure out a different way. Maybe we just have to get an opportunity. Maybe instead of saying, I don't have time to do that, maybe we make time to do that. You know, I mean, I could have easily told this lady, like, I don't have time to do that, because the only thing that I wanted was literally, like, rest. But I am finding that since I was able to go over and start working at this lady's house, I am finding that, number one, I have more time for self-care. Why? Because I have more money. And if you have more money, you have more time for self-care. And don't ask me how that works, because I have no earthly idea. I have no earthly idea how that works, but it works. You know, when you have more money, you have more time. Plain and simple. You just make more time. So, anyways, that's just a quick introduction video. I say quick, it was what, 25 minutes? Anyways, just to kind of let you know kind of what this channel is going to be about, kind of how I got started, and, you know, some other content and things that you might find on this channel. But I'm about 15 minutes away from work, so I'm about to turn up my radio and jam because it's what I do every day. Gotta have my praise and worship session in the mornings. And you can finally see because the sun's finally up, and it is 7:12. Anyways, I hope you guys have a fantastic